Do they beat the woman? Not only do they beat the woman, stand by and video this girl getting killed, but doesn't it suggest to you, Gary, that they lied for a nefarious reason, and that reason being to cover up their involvement in her death? From the very get-go, were not true. And it does raise the question of whether this was a pre-planned attack, whether it was organized not only by the person who committed it physically, but those around the room. And you said really hits the nail on the head, Gary Davis, and now I know why you're a high-profile lawyer specializing in international law. This was pre-planned. I mean, misplanned.
A few weeks ago, the mother of Shanquella Robinson, a North Carolina woman who died in late October while on a trip to Mexico with a group of friends, revealed new details about her death to legal commentator Nancy Grace as her family and supporters called for authorities to execute an arrest warrant in the case. Supporters of the slain beauty queen questioned the investigation's initial handling and urged authorities to take action against her 6 travel companions, who were absent for more than 2 hours during her Justice rally, despite the fact that she trusted them enough to travel thousands of miles to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and share a villa with them. Nancy believes that Shanquella's pals organized the attack on her and that all of them should be arrested right now. So, what did the brave podcaster reveal that scared the Cabo Six? Let us investigate. Shanquella Robinson's parents, Salamandra Robinson and Bernard Robinson, found that her trip companions lied about her death weeks after she died. Nancy Grace now believes that whatever happened in Cabo was a methodically planned execution. The Cabo Six informed the Robinsons that their 25-year-old daughter had died as a result of alcohol poisoning. One of the group's travelers, Shanquella's best friend, Carlo Cook, took Shanquella's suitcase and other possessions to the family's home and spent every day comforting them. The gang prepared clothes for the funeral they meant to attend, but when the death certificate arrived, they vanished, according to Salamandra. Shanquella died as a result of a broken spinal cord and neck, according to her death certificate. Soon later, the mother saw a video of another lady thrashing Shanquella with a series of blows to the head, neck, and other portions of her body while her friends stood by and videotaped the incident on their cell phones. Salamandra claimed that the video left her ill to her stomach. She believes her daughter was murdered. Nancy believes Shanquella's companions plotted to kill her, as proved by the attack while she was sleeping, with the rest of the team recording the attack while others stood by and watched her die. She wasn't even fighting back. They attacked, Salamandra said in a recent interview with Nancy Grace. Authorities in Mexico have issued an arrest warrant for femicide or murder committed against a woman because of her gender. The FBI field office in Charlotte has also launched an investigation into Shanquella's death. According to the victim's family, authorities have been tight-lipped about the warrant's specifics and the progress of the investigation. Officials say they must extradite the suspect identified on the warrant so that they can face prosecution in Mexico. But Shanquella's parents, as well as Nancy, want everyone in the group charged for what they did. The family is still in shock at the tragic death of the young entrepreneur and business student, and they are wondering why officials are taking so long to make an arrest. This hurt to the core, lamented Bernard Robinson. She was my only child. She had so much going on for herself. Although the circumstances surrounding Shanquella's death remain unknown, a police report indicates that she was attended to by medical staff for several hours before she died. Her death certificate, on the other hand, says she died within minutes of her injuries, implying that someone is attempting to cover up their mistake. Salamandra is still piecing together the circumstances, but during an interview with Nancy on November 28, she corroborated some of the events leading up to her daughter's death. The woman in the viral video banging on Shanquella, according to the mother, is Destiny Jackson, as many assumed from the start. Salamander also said that the footage of the fight, which confirmed her concerns regarding Shanquella's death, was widely circulated prior to her daughter's death. Someone called me and told me before they even arrived back to Charlotte, North Carolina, that they were over there fighting her, so I didn't know how true it was, Salamander told Nancy. Someone eventually posted it on Facebook, according to the bereaved mother, and a friend saw it and emailed it to her. Shanquella's companions had already returned to North Carolina at that point, at least 2 days following her death on October 29th. So after they got back and Shanquella had passed, the video had surfaced on Facebook and someone sent it to my family, she said. Salamander also disclosed that her daughter loved to sleep naked and was presumably sleeping just before the attack in the viral video, which Nancy also mentioned. She was a good child and had a great heart, and she did not deserve to be treated like that, the mother said. Nancy's appeal for Cabo 6's arrest adds to the millions of others around the world who have encouraged both the American and Mexican governments to expedite the process. Nancy Grace was a 19-year-old English literature major at Mercer University in Georgia before becoming a legal commentator and anchor of her own show, Crime Stories with Nancy Grace, on Fox Nation. She spent her days reading Shakespeare and aspired to be a professor. Keith Griffin, a 23-year-old geology student who had been working for the Ingram Construction Company on the Georgia Craft plywood site near Madison in Georgia, was set to marry her. And then tragedy struck. One day in August 1979, a few months before the wedding, Griffin took the company truck out to buy sodas for himself and his co-workers. As he drove out of the Craft Plywood entrance road and onto U.S. Route 278, he was shot and killed by a former co-worker, Tommy McCoy, who had recently been fired from the construction company. McCoy had no prior criminal records. The killing shattered Nancy's world. She completely lost her appetite and dropped out of school for a time. I had no idea what was going on in the world until Keith was murdered, the now veteran legal commentator said. Since then, I've been driven by the idea that if I could stop one crime, it would be worth it. And it is for this reason that she is doing everything she can to guarantee Shanquella receives justice. Nancy worked as a special prosecutor for the Atlanta Fulton County District Attorney's Office in Georgia for nearly a decade before catching the attention of Court TV founder Stephen Brill, who invited her to be a co-host on the network with Johnny Cochran and turned her into the star she is today. Adding her voice to the Shanquella case will undoubtedly increase the pressure on the authorities to act, and the Cabo 6 will be apprehended and convicted soon. That's all for now. Till next time, bye!